Oh yeah. Make sure all that's off the bottom there. I tell you, that chili just turned out perfect. Welcome back, everyone, to Cook It Simple with Eric. Today is an exciting day as usual. We get to make chili. So today is chili day. All right, so what we're going to need, 5.5 quart pot of your choice. We're going to use 2 cans of the diced tomatoes. Oops. We're going to use 1 can of light kidney beans, light red kidney beans. Normally you can use 2 cans. I don't like a lot of beans, so I'm going to use 1, or don't put beans in it at all. I've already cut up half a yellow onion and half a green pepper. We're also adding 1 can of Rotel. Today we're going to put hot in it. 2 pounds of ground beef, 80/20, and 2 packets of your chili seasoning. So this recipe is actually on the back of this packet. The only thing I'm doing different is I'm putting green pepper and onions in. So this is a very simple chili to make. Something quick and easy in the evening. Just throw it together, feed the family, feed the friends. I do have other recipes that I use for outdoor cooking. I have an outdoor chili that I make in a Dutch oven over coals and stuff. Really good, but that's a whole different chili than this one. But we're going to do this because it's quick, it's easy, and it's simple. The recipe's on the back of that, so let's get started. Okay, now I've got our induction burner all set up. We're just going to cook it all right here on the counter. I went ahead, I've got all my cans opened. That's ready. Got my seasoning packet. Now first thing we're going to do is brown the hamburger. I like to do that about medium-high heat, maybe a little bit more, just to get the job done. I also like to put a little bit of a crust on it, or like caramelize a little bit on the hamburger. There we go. This shouldn't take too long. Really, the chili process doesn't take long at all. Once you get your hamburger browned, your ingredients in, you basically set it and forget it. And come back an hour later. I'll bring you in, let you see what's going on. We'll just let this cook down a little bit. Everything's nice and brown. We're going to drain the grease afterwards. Then we'll go ahead and let it cook just a little bit more in the pan. Try to get a little brownness to our hamburger. That'll add a little extra layer of flavor. All right, we'll come back when she's done. Okay, I went ahead and got it cooked all the way through, so I went ahead and drained the grease off of it. There's quite a bit on this one. So I'm just going to let it do a little slow cooking on the bottom here. I still have the temperature set to almost high. Just try to get a little color on the hamburger real quick. Then we'll go ahead and add our ingredients in. All right, I always like to add the seasoning first. That way it just coats the hamburger really well. All right, there's one packet. Let's put the other one in. All right, let's get that all mixed around. Now you'll see it hitting the bottom. Don't worry about that. It's just extra flavor here in a minute once we get our liquids in. There, that's nice and coated. So we're looking good there. I'll go ahead and put our onions and peppers in. Like I said, it's about a half an onion and about a half a green pepper. We have 2 pounds of hamburger, 2 packets of the seasoning. All right, let's go ahead and add our liquids. So all these liquids, you don't need to drain any. Even the beans, just dump the whole can in, because you'll need that liquid. So Rotel. Now our 2 cans of diced tomatoes. Just get it mixed up real good. And those liquids will start breaking up the bottom. So we're going to turn that down to about a medium, because we'll want to keep a nice heavy simmer going. That way it kind of breaks down cooks the tomatoes up real nicely and just brings everything together. Break up the bottom. There we go. All right, that's what it looks really thick at first, but it'll soup down. I like my chili thick anyway, so this will be a little bit thicker. So here it goes. We'll cover it, let that come to a boil. It's already boiling. That is excellent. So let's cover it, come back in about 15 minutes, see what it looks like. Okay, we've been in about 15 minutes now. It's got the simmer that we want to see going here. We'll just give it a little stir and let it go for about another half hour to 45 minutes. Depends. The way I kind of gauge that is by my peppers, my green peppers. If they start changing, getting a little bit darker green, I know that the chili is just about done. But everything is looking delicious. Notice how it's souping up a little bit. So it's getting a little soupier as the tomatoes cook down. So we'll come back about a half hour and see how we're doing. Okay, it's been about a half hour since we last looked at it, so we should be just about done. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That is exactly what we want to see. Notice our peppers are a nice pale green now. That means they're nice and tender, so when you bite into them, it's still going to give you a little burst of pepper flavor. Yeah. Means the beans are nice and hot and tender. So that right there is exactly what we want to see. So I would say we've been about 45 minutes in at this point. So let's go ahead and shut everything down and give it a taste. And there we have it, everybody. So we probably have about an hour into this with prep time, cook time, everything. So now there's only one thing to do, and that is to try it. I like to have Fritos. You can have oyster crackers, whatever you want. I like to put a little bit in the bottom to start with. Oh yeah. Make sure all that's off the bottom there. I tell you, that chili just turned out perfect. Okay, then we just put a nice layer of chili in. I'm not going to have a whole bunch because it's still about lunchtime, and this is actually for tomorrow's supper. I made it early. That way it can sit in the refrigerator, and then once you heat it back up, it's going to taste even better. So, put a few more Fritos on it. Throw some cheese in. And let that set up for a minute. Let the cheese melt down a little bit. So, there we have it. Oh, perfect chili. Every time. Every time. All right, let's try it out here. I know it's going to be hot too. I'll probably have a little bit bigger bowl than this, despite what I just said. That hot Rotel gives it a nice little kick. You definitely have to try this recipe, and from there do whatever you want with it. But this is a good base for a delicious chili. So thank you again for joining me for another episode of Cook It Simple with Eric. Please like and subscribe. Till then, I'll see you next week. Thank you.